I saw that it was a great opportunity. One of my professors actually reached out to me and gave me information about the internship. So as I watched the YouTube video and I read everything that you sent, I felt like it was a really great opportunity for me to kind of like gain that experience, because I know there are a lot of internships out here, especially in the legal field, where you don't really get that hands-on experience. So by watching the YouTube video, and seeing that you'll be able to learn how to like cross-examine and handle like real life cases, that really did catch my attention.
I love having an edge over anybody, especially if it's a legal edge over somebody. So I think this is just like, I've been sharpening my knife, and hopefully when I get into law school, hopefully I get into a great law school, I'll be able to use a little bit of that knife. But
I got to speak with people who were in jail. I got to call clients on the phone, get their story. The jail visits were like virtual. I would see them, they would see me, and I would just document their story, and the client were on the phone. I would document their story as well.
So I did like client calls, and I also did like jail visits. So that was good as well. I really did like that. I was a little intimidated by the jail visits, but as I kept doing it, I really did enjoy it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but also having like the steps that we could go off of, that was helpful. But
a lot of group work, a lot of thinking.
I like how we kind of like went through each and every step when it came to like identifying like the different elements of the case.
I think I understand a lot more of how like lawyers look at a fact, how it's a very much a fact is never a fact. It's a double-sided sword, basically.
I definitely learned how to cross-examine. I learned how to do like the timeline topics. I learned how to go through like the different chapters and like set goals when it comes to cross-examination.
Justin would start off by telling us to describe something, and then we would have to each go around trying to come up with a way to describe it. And it was just like it was like a brain exercise. And as the weeks went on, we were able to, think of things quicker, think of more logical things to say. It wasn't just like random things. We were able to, it was just like really to help us like practice like on our feet thinking. And so I really like the dojos.
Dojos?
Yeah, we did a lot of them, and at first it was a little bit daunting, a little bit awkward to try and get into it, but after you do it a few times, you kind of get used to it,
I think virtual was good. It kind of, it made you feel like you were a part of a community. Having your camera on really helped, because you knew that other people were there with you and you weren't staring at a blank screen. I think it made it just as good as being in person.
It still felt like I was, kind of like in a classroom. Like it still felt the same. It felt like I was kind of in person still. I was still able to get that hands-on experience. So it was great for me.
A lot of it can be done virtually. And even working in groups, it all works out over Zoom.
And were you intimidated knowing that you would be with law school students in the program at all?
At first I was, because I was like, maybe they know much more than I do. But as we kept doing it, I got more comfortable. I didn't feel like that at all, but at first I did.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of helped ease you into feeling like, all right, I'm kind of on the same playing field with these guys?
I would say definitely when we were working in groups, that definitely helped a lot, because I noticed that they were learning too.
Yeah, I was very intimidated because you had us go through a lot of steps so that we would do that, and you only let a certain amount of people go into it. So I kind of felt a bit of pressure to make sure that I was on my game with them.
I wouldn't say up to par with them, just because they know more than me, like actual law stuff like that. They've been to 1 year of law school or even 2 years of law school. So I wouldn't say like right with them, but I wouldn't say like I'm like a quarter of a mile down. I'd say maybe a step or two behind at the most.
There were undergraduate students who were part of this program too. What was your impression of the undergraduates participating?
I thought they did great. Yeah, I have no qualms. We're not really doing a whole lot of like heavy duty legal theory kind of stuff, so I thought it was perfectly fine material for them to participate in. And in a lot of cases, I thought they added more than the law students did.
Oh, I did not realize they were undergraduates like on our first day, but they are very, very smart. They know what they're doing.
The undergrads, they offer just as much as the law students. A lot of times they would play supporting roles, but we needed the undergrads just as much to do some of the assignments, but they had just as much of a seat at the table as the rest of us. So
Honestly, I saw it as a great opportunity to be in like the same sort of environment as the law students, because one day I do want to be a law student. So I just wanted to see how they would approach things, to learn as much as I could from them.
I think the undergraduates performed at the same level. Maybe even a few were able to perform at a higher level than some of the law students, just in terms of like quick thinking and leadership wise. I think a lot of the undergraduates took upon themselves like a leadership position right away. So sometimes I didn't even feel like I was talking to an undergraduate, but a colleague, like another law student.
Okay, and how do you think this program has maybe prepared you better to go to law school?
It definitely has. Like especially like in the law school setting, I feel like I'll be able to, identify many different things. Like when it comes to going over cases, I feel like I'll know like what to look for. I'm able to kind of like think out the box and put myself into the defendant's shoes and kind of like, role play the situation a little bit more. So that way I can kind of see like some things that, I didn't see at first.
I didn't expect it to be as laid back as it was, even though it was serious. It was quite fun to speak to the other people and like develop those sort of friendships with people.
And what would you say to any undergraduate students who are considering participating in this program?
I would say definitely do it, because it's definitely something that I feel you will really learn from. You definitely have to like put in work. So just make sure you stay on top of that. And I just think it'll be helpful to someone else, especially if they're deciding to become a lawyer or doing anything in like the legal world, preparing for law school.
I'll do it. If you want to be a lawyer, if you're serious about it, if you're hungry about it, if you want to be that guy, do it. If not, then don't even worry. Don't even waste Mr. Jones' time. Don't waste your time. If you're not willing to do that, it's not for you. And maybe law isn't for you, to be honest.
please, for the love of God, get experience before you go to law school. You desperately need it. This is a great place to do it. And there are a lot of people who will go to law school without any experience, but it will put you at a disadvantage. Just either working professionally, being able to talk to people, interpersonal skills, understanding how the process works, even just research and writing. It's important to have that background. Whatever the capacity is, you need to have something.
Intern of the year, I won. Take that with a grain of salt. You can do your best, and you still win.
Justin Jones is a great lawyer. Do the internship.